I don't want to see one more white creator clutch their pearls or tell me how they're horrified or how they want to leave the country and how you're having a mental breakdown and how it's too much to handle about what's happening in this country. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about it. I truly don't. You got a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of an inch what it's like to be black in this country. Feels pretty shitty, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Do you know why we're here? It's because our demographic, primarily white men who this land was designed to benefit, didn't stand up with people of color, with our black brothers and sisters, with the Native Americans, with minorities, because it didn't affect them. That's why we're here. There is the class war, eat the rich, yes. This is about the original sin of this country. Make America white again, because that's what they want. I made the mistake of going through the radio and listening to MSNBC by accident. I don't know why, I just had it in the background. And this reporter said, "This is not who we are." Yeah, it is. It's exactly who we are as a country. Too many of us refuse to admit that's who we are because of our privilege. 14 million children go to school hungry. 36.8 million people, or 11.1% of our population, live in poverty. 1.9 million people are incarcerated, the highest number in the world. 800,000 people approximately that are homeless in this country. 40,000 plus people pass away every year from firearm violence. Women don't even have rights. They have their sepsis rates going up. We have a convicted felon in the White House. What do you mean that's not who we are? For 200 years, we treated people that were black less than everybody else. We said they were only worth 3/5 of a person. And the people that made those laws owned black people, like livestock, the founding fathers that you guys worship. They couldn't vote. They couldn't drink from the water fountain. Women didn't have rights. They couldn't vote, couldn't have credit, couldn't have no-fault divorce until, hell, what, the 80s, I think it was? Black people couldn't vote till the 60s? We put Asians in internment camp? We stole the land from the Native Americans, some of the land we took from Mexico. Hell, we even sold the land from the Hawaiians. So, honestly, what do you mean that's not who we are? This is who we've always been. This has always been a male white patriarchy. Period. And the media and people that are online still refuse to sit it. They put their heads right up their backside and are shocked and saying, that's not who we are. So, I'm going to explain it for people in my demographic, and I'm going to keep it very short and simple. Now that you feel like a percentage, a fraction of an inconvenience, now you've actually felt a small taste, a fraction of a fraction of what it feels like to be a black person. Now you want to say, that's not who we are. Yeah, it is. But your privilege kept you from the darkness for all these years. And now it's showing up at your front door. It's who we've always been. And I'll say it again. It doesn't matter if we have the red team or the blue team in the White House or in Congress or in the Senate. Until we tear down the white patriarchy in this country and admit that America has never been great for everybody, except for my demographic, we will never be great for everybody, and we will never be equal for everybody. So don't tell me that that flag is a sign of freedom. To you, maybe. But to somebody that doesn't look like me, it was a symbol of oppression. Have a good day.
Here we go! Now the first thing people stated was that salary is what is supposed to get you the life necessities. The salary that you are paid from your job. Here's the thing about that! A job isn't guaranteed either in this country, is it? No, it isn't! You know how I know? Because after I lost my job a couple months ago, I put in almost 1,000 applications! I'm a 33-year-old with a 4-year degree! You motherfuckers! It's not laziness, it's the companies not hiring! So when I say life necessities should be provided and you say that's what salary's for, I say fuck you for not understanding this failing system. And when I say failing system, I mean capitalism, which is technically working as it's supposed to, as most of you have pointed out. It's supposed to oppress us and take most of our time, give us none of the money, and make us too tired to fight back!
What's up, good people? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, hang on a minute. A great reckoning is coming to America. And at this moment in time, you can tell that the reckoning has finally, the time is now. Because you observe what is happening in America currently, and you know that the last demographic, the last group of people who the truth has been hidden from them for all this time have begun to know the truth and the painful truth. And you want to know who these people are. These people are not black people. Black people know the truth about what America is like and the cruelty of America and the American system. The brown and Latino people know the truth, and the Native Americans know the truth about the history of that country. And of course, the white elites who have come up with the cruel system, the oppressive systems, of course know the truth, know what America is founded on. It is founded on lies and cruelty and an illusion of superiority that has been being sustained by lies all along. But guess who has been living under the comfort of this lie and now has woken up to the truth? Is the common everyday white American. From whom the systems of the white elites, the white supremacy systems, and the privileges from it have benefited for all this time. But now with the decline of the American empire, you realize that the lies cannot sustain the system anymore. Black people cannot be, cannot just stay and watch as the oppression takes place. Brown people cannot accept the oppression anymore. Native Americans are not there to be oppressed anymore. And so the bear is turning to eat its own kids. And the systems of the elite white Americans are now turning to feed on the everyday white American. I want us to continue to listen to these very, very educative videos of a moment of reckoning. And at the end of it all, I believe there's a lot we will have learned from the same. So see you on the other side.
Why, oh why do poor white people vote against themselves time and time again? They vote for Trump and the other MAGA politicians only to have every promise broken, prices go up, social supports evaporate. Here's why. First, remember what I talked about recently, the psychological wage of whiteness. That term was coined by W.E. Du Bois to describe poor white folks being paid with social status rather than decent living conditions. They're convinced by the elites that they're better than black folks, better than immigrants, Latinos, LGBTQ folks. They're convinced that being white puts them in the same league as the elites. Of course, the elites know otherwise, but the poor whites buy it because they're grasping at straws. Second, they are convinced that the people they're supposedly better than are the big threat in their lives. Not the rich, not the corporations or the politicians, but immigrants, black folks, welfare queens, LGBTQ, criminals, the usual scapegoats. Third, the elites promise protection to poor white folks. A politician comes along and says, I'll keep those people in their place, or I'll kick them out, or I'll lock them up. Or more politely, I'll defend your values. They don't say, I'll make your life better. Well, they say it, they just don't mean it. They'll say, I'll make sure they don't get ahead of you. Fourth, they vote for the punishment, not the policy. When a law gets passed that slashes public housing or school funding or food aid, they think, good, that'll stop those lazy freeloaders. And they do some mental gymnastics that make them believe it's worth losing those things for their own families in order to see those problematic Black people and immigrants and so forth being punished. It gets to a point where just seeing those guys being punished is reward enough, which is pretty sick, but that's how behavior works. Their housing, schools, and groceries are on the chopping block too, but they blame that on Biden. Always a scapegoat. They get hit by the same policies they were told would punish the others, and they blame the wrong people. The system fails them, but they've been trained to blame the scapegoats, not the cause, which is the rich people, the people they voted for. So they think the problem is still those people, not the fact that they were personally manipulated by the people they voted for. They're basically saying, I'll take the hit as long as you don't help them, or worse, as long as you hurt them. That is the psychological wage Du Bois was talking about, the trade-off between material security for racial status. And that's a crying shame, folks. One share, like, save, and comment shows that you care about white people taking responsibility for racism in America. This work is important to me, and I want to keep doing it. If you want to support me, consider a donation of any size to coffee.com/Kelly Snyder. And yeah, spelling is important. Get curious.
I don't want to see one more white creator clutch their pearls or tell me how they're horrified or how they want to leave the country and how you're having a mental breakdown and how it's too much to handle about what's happening in this country. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about it. I truly don't. You got a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of an inch what it's like to be Black in this country. Feels pretty shitty, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Do you know why we're here? It's because our demographic, primarily white men who this land was designed to benefit, didn't stand up with people of color, with our Black brothers and sisters, with the Native Americans, with minorities, because it didn't affect them. That's why we're here. There is the class war, eat the rich, yes. This is about the original sin of this country. Make America white again, because that's what they want. Last night I was on a live, and this lady was just heartbroken. She's like, I don't know, like we had, 75 years of progress, and it's all being taken away. And I asked a question, and I think it's the right question. Was it progress, or was it just suppressed? I would argue the latter, because it sure feels like this racism is like a reservoir, and it's a body of water behind a dam, and it's been dying to push out. And that's what this Klan leader is in the White House. He is that outlet for the dam. He unleashed it. It was there. Our neighbors, our friends, our family, they were always racist. He just said, hey, little Billy, hey, it's okay. Don't hide anymore. Take off your white hoods. Don't hide your face. Do it in public. Who were they going after? They're racially profiling people. DEI, CRT, equality, Charlie Kirk, the white supremacist. Hey, if the pilot's Black, do I know that they're qualified? Has he ever said that about a white pilot? Of course not. Who did they pick? The most unqualified, bumbling idiot. A convicted felon, caused an insurrection, cheats on his wives, sexual abuse. But hey, you know what? He's white. So when you see a lot of these evangelicals, because I see a lot of them in my family, middle-aged white, praise Jesus, praise Jesus. Yeah, you think Jesus wants a man like this? You think he's a great reflection? No. I'm going to tell you why they support him. Because they view, when you hear the phrase nuclear family or traditional family values or Christian nation, when was this a Christian nation again? I'm sorry, because I haven't heard one thing. It was founded by founding fathers that owned slaves. They owned goddamn Black people like cattle. Yeah, praise Jesus, right? Black people were worth 3/5 of a person. Praise Jesus. Only 21-year-old white men had rights in this country. Praise Jesus, such a Christian nation. Every atrocity in this country and across the world has been done by a person with religion who has weaponized religion to push the white supremacy. That's it. Look at the Catholic Church. How many young men have been affected? And none of you Catholics stood up. You still go to church and give your tithes while they pay out billions of dollars in civil lawsuits because it didn't affect you, so you don't give a damn. Look at the Baptist Church. Decades they covered up the mistreatment of women. It's gross. And you still went to church and praise Jesus. Look at all the pastors right now that are being arrested for doing inappropriate things with people underage. Praise Jesus, right? But then you hear Bishop Uday. Kindness, compassion, empathy. Nope, we don't want that. That's right, because you want to make America white again. You want Leave It to Beaver. You want a white kid in a white ice cream shop sitting next to a white cop being served by a white ice cream server. That's what you want. And for all of you middle-aged white people, you are scared to hell that that's going away. And when you hear Fox News, they have posted 244 pieces about trans people since February. Nothing about gun violence. Nothing about universal health care. Nothing about giving people a living wage. Actual policies that would make people's lives better. Because it questions their version of the traditional family. And when you hear that, let me be very clear what traditional family values means. It means white America. That's what it means. They want to put the 10 Commandments in Texas. They want to put Bibles in Tennessee. I'm a person of faith, and I have no right, zero, to push my religion or my faith on you. That's what free will is. See, and those white Christian nationalists, those white supremacists, they don't want free will. They want to push their religious ideology on you because they actually believe this is a Christian nation, because they don't want to take 2 seconds to realize that we are a third world country, that we've never been a great nation for everybody. And that's done through indoctrination, right? You're born in American flag diapers, and you wake up every morning and you eat your freedom Wheaties and you do the Pledge of Allegiance. Best country in the whole universe ever by not even a close measure. Then you feed your pet bald eagle and you go to work and you polish the Constitution and you have 800 trillion American flags. America, America, yeehaw, America first. But see, you don't give a damn about the people that the flag represents. You just care that your version of what America was lied to you, that you were the Truman Show, because that's what this is. You were told it was great, and it's not. Right now, the way that we're acting, we're a shithole country. And a lot of people that are white don't want to hear that. Why don't you go ask black people if they think it was great? Why don't you go ask some Native Americans if it was great for them? Because this was their land. Why don't you go ask the Hawaiians when it was great for them? Because we stole their land. We took the land from Mexico. Hell, we took black people from Africa because us white people were too goddamn lazy to do the jobs ourselves. And for all of you people demonizing immigrants, I don't see your lazy asses out in the field doing the jobs. Why is that? Because you just didn't want non-white people here. But Paul, I want them here legally. Great, let's talk about that. These people have been here for 30, 40 years. The system is screwed up, yes. But you know what? They're not criminals. They pay their bills. They pay their taxes. They have a house. They own businesses. But you voted for a white man who's a convicted felon, who caused an insurrection, who makes fun of disabled people, who's so pitiful that he cheats on his wives, all 3 of them. 25 women he's assaulted. The guy wears orange makeup and diapers. And that's your guy? Because he represents one thing: make America white again. And for a lot of you men, it's the toxic masculinity, right? You just can't admit that you've been lied to your whole life, that America has never been great for everybody. Sure, take out the bad parts. Take out Jim Crow and slavery and the unaliving of Native Americans and segregation and Black Wall Street. Sure, just take out the bad parts and just take the fraction where it's benefited white people. If we don't address this, and if people like me don't speak up like this, whether we like it or not, This is our mess. We created this. Think of it this way, and I'll leave you with this thought. I build a house, okay? This house is brand new. A black family moves into it, okay? Great, it's wonderful. It starts to get cracks in the walls and the ceilings, and it sags. They come in, they look at it, and they find out that the foundation is broken, okay? That it wasn't poured correctly. It wasn't meant to hold the weight of that house. It was designed poorly. Is it up to the homeowner to fix that house? No, it's up to the person that built the house. Us, white men, the only demographic that has never been oppressed, the demographic that it was designed to support. Whether I like it or not, I have privilege. I don't want it, but I have it. So we have two options, people. We can hide behind it and clutch our pearls and bitch and whine and say, oh my gosh, it's so bad. Or we can use it to stand up and do the right thing and to tear down the patriarchy. Because white supremacy, right now, the one good thing that came out of Harris losing was that now we're forced to address the ugliness and the darkness in this country, which is white supremacy. Which path are you going to choose? How is history going to remember you?
This useless empire can finish crumbling now, for real. No, nobody wants to work in this country anymore. You want to know why? Because it's not employment when all you are doing is transferring wealth from your employer to your landlord. So no, we don't really want to work. Nobody should want to work if those are the conditions. If all we make is pennies and we don't even get to be comfortable, all we get is to prove we're worthy of existing one more day in this capitalist hell. While all of the people who are comfortable sit there and tell you, well, this is what you get for not being rich. This is what you get for not getting a good enough job, as if that ever existed. This is what you get for not getting ahead, as if that meant anything ever. Just get a better job. Just stop getting coffee. Just stop with the avocado toast. How about you just get that rich billionaire dick out of your throat? So I got some news for you comfortable morons. You're much closer to homelessness than you will ever be the billionaire tax bracket, you dumbass. If you think the people making your lazy-ass fast food because you were too fucking lazy to make food yourself don't deserve a living wage, you're the fucking problem. Fuck this country. All right, I guess. I mean, I said it one time with my full chest, and you guys heard me out. Thousands of you heard me out. And you know what? Some of you had some really valid opinions. Because you know what? That video was a little bit vague. You might have been right about some things, okay? So I brought some notes. Some counterpoints to some of you ignorant people who for some reason still don't understand the need for all humans to be seen as equal and for all human needs to be met. So, let's go through these one by one, shall we? These are in no particular order, and I may stop for anime impressions, seeing as how so many of you seem to think that I did some voice acting. Anyway, here we go! Now, the first thing people stated was that salary is what is supposed to get you the life necessities. The salary that you are paid from your job. Here's the thing about that! A job isn't guaranteed either in this country, is it? No, it isn't! You know how I know? Because after I lost my job a couple months ago, I put in almost 1,000 applications! I'm a 33-year-old with a 4-year degree! You motherfuckers! It's not laziness, it's the companies not hiring! So when I say life necessities should be provided and you say that's what salary's for, I say fuck you for not understanding this failing system. And when I say failing system, I mean capitalism, which is technically working as it's supposed to, as most of you have pointed out. It's supposed to oppress us and take most of our time, give us none of the money, and make us too tired to fight back! So that's point number one. Fuck you about salary. We shouldn't have to earn a salary to prove that we are humans that deserve our basic needs met! Damn Deku! The second point is so many of you that have a job that pays you enough that you think you're closer to the billionaire class than you are homeless, you all claim, I'm not paying for you guys to just be lazy. I'm not paying for people in this country to sit around. I'll work 80 hours every 2 weeks. Good point. Thank you for being so happy to be exploited by this country that you ran face first into the fucking point without realizing it! I don't want your tax money! You people who are also overexploited and still don't get paid enough? I don't think you should have to work 80 plus fucking hours every 2 weeks to deserve your needs met either, do you get that? No, you just call me lazy and think I don't have a fucking job because I hate this corrupt fucking system and you're too dense to understand two things at once! Kamehameha! Next up! That isn't slavery. Don't compare the two. Slavery was much worse. Fine! I'm not trying to say it wasn't! And I wasn't specific enough. Fine, you're right. Capitalism isn't direct slavery. It is wage slavery. You are a slave to the wages you make. And if you don't make enough, other people like those in the comments will tell you, that's because you don't work hard enough. That's because you don't have a good enough job. Wrong. I have been working for half of my fucking life. And I have had many different jobs and not a single one of them has even tried to pay me what I fucking need to survive. Also, slaves were provided food and housing. Was it good? No. Am I suggesting anything like that? No. I'm simply pointing out that they were provided things that we are not. We, in a supposed society that cares about each other, are not provided these things that slaves were given. No, slavery was not better. No, this kind of slavery is not any better. All slavery is bad, it's horrible, never should have happened, and shouldn't still be happening. There was a time in my life when I might have given up. But that's all behind me now! Next on the list here. Oh, okay, so you just want company towns. You just want the government to provide us, so you just want company town. No! Fuck no! Why is that your only fucking thought? Why is that what everybody fucking thinks solves this problem? Scarcity is manufactured. The billionaires prove that. This country proves it by burning millions of dollars worth of food instead of giving it to the fucking poor. We don't need company towns to be provided our fucking needs, okay? We need a better system that's not capitalism and doesn't kowtow to the billionaires who bought all the fucking politicians. Just because you think company towns are the fucking solution doesn't mean that's what I was talking about. Next up, nobody's telling you have to work, bro. You don't have to work. You can just be poor and shitty and homeless. You can go ahead and do that. No one's forcing you. That's the point, you fucking chode! Are you kidding me? Thanks for being another idiot proud to be exploited by the system and telling everybody else they need a job to be valuable. You're a fucking asshole! You're right, we don't have to work. We can choose to be homeless. Then, since that's illegal, they will put you in jail. And you will be forced to work! So in a sense, yeah, the fuck we are! And you know that! You're just being a contrarian fuck! Next up, we've got, what are we doing about it? Okay, you're all mad, what are we doing? Like, what is anybody doing about it? That's a good fucking question, okay? I've got hundreds, if not thousands of people asking the same thing. And I'm telling them the same thing. You all want to band together? Link arms with me, man, let's go! I'll fucking march! Like, if you give me masses, I'll fucking lead them, I don't give a shit! I'll take one for the collective team, if I gotta be the one in front rallying everybody, whatever, if that's what we need! Give me the organized people, let's fucking go! We are tired enough of this system, we are angry enough, as evidenced by all the fucking people in my goddamn comments, aside from the ignorant morons! So what are we doing? We're yelling until we all band together! So either yell with me, band together, or fucking both! Let's go! I'm one singular poor person! I need more than me, so come on! Right after that, we've got the system isn't broken, bro. It's working just the way it was intended. Yeah! I know, and that's why I'm so fucking mad! Because I either have to continue working in this fucking system, or die! I know capitalism is working as intended, and if that is oppressing people and making our lives so bad to the point that we need to revolt, we're at the fucking point, aren't we, guys? Yes, capitalism is working as intended. Let's fucking stop that, shall we? We are the system. Let's break the system. Right after that, we've got, oh, dude, that's the whole world. Where are you gonna go? Where's better than the U.S., huh? Here's the thing, I don't know. Because I live in the U.S., my knowledge of the rest of the world is kind of fucking limited. We're not taught anything about the rest of the world except what not to do. We're taught China bad, communism. And that's not even fucking true based on the glimpses we've had of China. And no, I'm sorry, if you haven't lived anywhere outside of the United States, fuck you and your fucking opinion. You don't get to speak on it, which is why I'm not gonna. I won't speak on any other countries, but I'll speak on the one, ours, that voted against food as a human right as one of the only 2 countries in the world to fucking do so! Just because I can't give you specifics doesn't mean this place is any fucking better, because it's not. We are still wage slaves. Homelessness is illegal. And too many people in this country firmly believe you have to have an occupation in order to be worth anything, completely and totally dismissing all disabled people, any veterans or people aging out of work because of aging disabilities or any other factors that we can't fucking control. If I missed any points, I'm sure people will bring them up here, and don't worry, I'll make another follow-up. But hey, if you like the rage, if you feel the rage, join in with me. Let me know how we can organize. Let me know how we can change this fucked up system that doesn't deserve to exist because it tells us we don't deserve to exist unless we play by their corrupt, fucked up rules. Thank you for coming to my TED yell. And also, if you're looking for a loud voice actor with vocal range, let me know.
Federal minimum wage, and I cannot afford to live.
I can break it down perfectly for you. So I'm one of the many Americans struggling with homelessness. I live in a vehicle that was made in 1996. I live on the side of the road, and I live in parking lots from time to time. When I can, I stay at campgrounds. But this was obviously not my first choice of living. At the time I became homeless, I was 22. My grandma had just passed away. I had applied to 6 different apartments, and I got denied at every place because I didn't have renter's history or credit yet. Because like I said, at the time I was 22, I never rented before and I never built credit. So after being denied multiple times, I did have to stay in motels, and my money was going fast on nights at motels. Plus, the motels weren't super clean or safe, and I have 2 cats. Well, I have 3 cats, but at the time when I first became homeless, I did have 2 cats. Now, the answer that you want, I have. You're wondering why they are doing this, and you're wondering why we are not fighting back. Slavery never stopped, it just evolved. The government requires you to be a slave to them in order to rent an apartment. You could have money. You could have, for example, $10,000 cash, but you still will not be able to get a place to live unless you have proof that you have been a slave to the system, pay stubs, bank statements, proof that you work a certain amount of hours. If you are not making money for the government, then they don't want you. They don't want to help you, and they see you as a burden. The system is set up for rich families. If I had a cosigner, I would be able to get a place to live, but I had no family or friends to cosign for me, so I've just been navigating this kind of by myself, and I spent my life savings on this vehicle so that I didn't have to sleep in my car or outside in the park. But the government doesn't believe you guys will fight back, and they're trying to make you so tired that you won't fight back, or you will become so rageful and you won't think straight, so you'll get yourself in legal trouble, and then once you get locked away, you can legally be used as a slave. It says it in our amendments. When you get arrested, you can be used as a slave, like legally. It says it in our amendments in very little font. So at the end of the day, it's all about the elites using the middle class and the poor as their workhorses. I always try to tell people you will never get rich working a 9-to-5 job because the rich never got rich that way. The rich are telling you guys, go work a 9-to-5 job and you will be like us. But they really got their money from generational wealth, slavery, funding wars. The reason inflation happened and you guys need to be making more money for your rent and for your gas is because they're giving money to the wars, because the rich elites of our country make money by funding wars, by trading missiles and trading weapons and stuff. So that's why they need you guys to work extra hard for them right now, because you guys are helping funding the war. Meanwhile, many of you are getting angry, rageful, getting yourself in legal trouble because you're tired, you're exhausted. You're needing to depend more on healthcare because you're sick now and you're getting overworked. No humans should be working this much. Never in history have we before. The funniest thing is, right now I'm homeless living on the side of the road, but I'm making more money than my grandma was, or my grandparents, my mother, like back in the day. Their rent was like $300, but they're gonna tell us that they worked just as hard as us and that we're the bums and we're lazy because they're not gonna own up to the mess that they made. And they don't care anyways because they're not gonna be on earth for much longer. So we're going to be the ones to deal with it, and then our children. But you guys just have to realize it's about slavery, it's about power and control, it's about feeding the elites, feeding the rich. They don't care what happens to you. They see you as ants. If you pass away, they will replace you with a new employee. They really don't care. You're just money. You make money for them, and they even say money doesn't exist. It's just meant to control you because they know money doesn't exist. They trade numbers. They do not trade money. Money is paper. It's a made-up thing to control the middle class and the poor so that you guys stay in your lane. So you can keep getting angry like this, but that's not going to do anything. You have to become brave. Stop depending on the government. They control you with fear because they think that you need them. They took away our human instincts, so you don't think you can hunt for food or make your own house, but you think you can make money to pay somebody to do it for you. And that's where they have you, because you don't know how to be self-sustainable anymore and you need to rely and depend on them. When at the end of the day, we have trees we can go cut down and build our houses. We know how to build a fire. I grew up in a town where hunting is a thing every season. We hunt for deer and turkeys. But they have you fooled thinking that giving away $2,000 every 30 days is winning. When at the end of the day, not paying rent is winning, dude. I don't pay rent. Literally, I've never paid rent in my entire life. I tried, but they didn't want me to because I didn't qualify. So now I've been learning how to live in different ways without the government, and they hate me for that. But in these next couple of years, you're going to see van life, RVs, trailers all over the place because some people want to be free for the little time that we have on Earth. We don't want to be working our young lives away for corporations that don't care about us. At the end of the day, people need to stop paying rent and fueling the rich and the elites, but that's not going to happen. So, get it how you live it while you're on Earth. Try to enjoy your time while you're here, and just try to wake up to the fact that money and material items really aren't all that.
Yes, you see, this is the truth. This is what America has always been like, and it is only that uh, for lies and propaganda, you can only tell a lie for so long, and then it gets to a time when you cannot sustain the false narrative anymore, and you have to face the truth. And the longer you try to prolong time so you don't face the truth, the harder it's going to be for you to even live, with the lies. Everybody has seen it now. Black people have always known the cruelty of America. Native Americans from whom the land was stolen from have always known the cruelty of America. Brown people have always known the truth. The elites, white elites who came up with that system, know the truth from which they are benefiting from. And the whole world has now known what America really, why they're always into fishy deals to just have their country running. And now the everyday common white American is also now waking up to the truth, because now they are becoming the victims of a system of their own, because they cannot sustain living in that country anymore. And when they look around, it's like Black and brown people are comfortable. Why? Because Black people have been used to living in that oppressive condition, and they have either have grown tough skins or have learned how to live with the system as it is. But for you who have been in the cozy comfort of white supremacy, when white supremacy cannot be sustained anymore because everyone in the whole world knows the truth, then you are forced to see the truth, to face the truth as it is, because the system is becoming a bear that goes out to hunt, and when it lacks something to eat, it comes back and feeds on its own kids. That is what simply these people are saying when they say we cannot afford to live in this country anymore. The taxes are exorbitant. There is no work, as they want to say. And then the narrative is still being sold by the white supremacists in the White House saying, make America great again. When was America great in the first place? When was it? America has enslaved Black people for hundreds of years. America has annihilated the whole communities of Native Americans. So when is that history of which America was great again? If America is to be, described as great, then maybe in the future, when they learn how to probably the value of human decency and human life, and that everybody deserves a chance in that country. Look, for many, many years in the recent past, Black people have been saying they want to go back to Africa. Lucky for them, because they have a place they can really look back and want to run to. But for these white people, they don't even have a place from which they can, think about run to for some comfort. Why? Their ancestors who first came in the Mayflower to America were rejects from Europe. And then, as if that was not enough, they came and settled in a stolen, they stole the land. They came to Africa, they stole the manpower, and then they went to use the stolen manpower to build on a stolen land. And then when their kids were born, and then they told them how great they are, how great that country is. And then the whole of history of teaching them how there were rejects and refugees from Europe were not taught. There was no need because they were flourishing under what? Under forced labor. They had to just relax at home and eat because black people are tilling the land for them. They had to just stay home, relax, eat, and sleep. Why? Because they have free land from which they stole from the natives Americans, from the Hawaiians. And now the truth is coming to the surface, and no one can really hide the truth when it is time for it to, come to the surface. And that is why they are coming out and they are really calling out the system and saying, no, we cannot take this America again. America has to go back to, the drawing board and give people equal chances and stop living a lie and come back as a nation that values every life equally, and it's going to be rough in the next few days, at least in America. But woe unto those who cannot cope with the system as it is, and happy are those who know the truth, for the truth will always sustain you, for the truth cannot expire. It's not like a lie. I have loved to do this video because it really has revealed a lot on what America is really like. And the re-election of Donald Trump has really shown the world and everybody who and what America is. Because now you see white supremacists and the racists are not hiding it anymore. They're getting a conducive environment from which they can become as racist as they can. And that is what America has always been like. It's only that they haven't had the best chance in the few past years to, blossom as a white supremacy. Yeah. That is what I had for you in this video. Thank you for sticking along until this point. Let's engage in the comment section. And if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. And you might as well consider sharing it. If you're new to this channel, welcome. And thank you for, popping by. Please hit the subscribe button to be part of this community. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.